You ever notice how a man can be cool, collected, and almost impossible to figure out until he meets that one woman? I'm not talking about just any woman. I'm talking about the one who gets into his heart so deep, he starts doing things even he didn't know he was capable of. Now here's the thing, only about 1% of women ever get to see this side of him, and if you have, you better believe you're special. Let me break it down for you. Number one, he actually listens to you now, fellas. Don't get mad, but we know the truth. Most of the time we hear you, but we ain't really listening. But for her, the one, he'll remember what you said 3 weeks ago about your favorite ice cream, and he'll show up with it on a random Tuesday. That's not normal behavior. That's a man who cares. Number two, he makes time, not excuses. Men are busy. Jobs, hobbies, friends, sports. You name it. But when a man's in love with that one woman, suddenly he's finding ways to fit her into his schedule. And it ain't, I'm too busy, anymore. It's, when are you free? Big difference. Number three, he's protective in a quiet way, not overbearing, not controlling. I'm talking about the subtle stuff. Walking on the side of traffic, checking to see if you got home safe, making sure you're okay in a crowd. That's instinct. That's love. Number four, he lets you see his weaknesses now. This one's big. Most men are taught to keep that armor on, never show fear, never show pain. But for you, he'll take the armor off. He'll tell you about his past, his insecurities, the stuff he don't tell nobody. And that's because he trusts you with his heart. Number five, he celebrates your wins like they're his own. A man can be competitive with the world, but when it comes to his woman, he wants her to win. If you get that promotion, if you accomplish a goal, he's the loudest cheerleader in the room. That's love with no ego. Number six, he remembers the little details. This ain't just about birthdays or anniversaries. I'm talking about that story you told him once about your childhood, the way you like your coffee, the little habits you don't even realize you have. That's a man who's paying attention with his heart, not just his ears. Number seven, he makes sacrifices without making you feel guilty. If a man gives something up for you and keeps reminding you about it, that ain't love. But if he changes plans, makes adjustments, or chooses your happiness over his, and never throws it in your face, that's real commitment. Number eight, he lets you in on his dreams. Most men keep their big dreams locked up tight, because if they fail, they don't want anybody to see it. But when you're the one, he'll tell you about what he wants for his life, where he sees himself in 5, 10, 20 years, and he'll include you in that picture. Number nine, he becomes a better man because of you. This is the ultimate one. A man in love with the right woman will start upgrading himself. He'll start working harder, dressing better, speaking better, thinking bigger. Why? Because you inspire him. You bring out the version of him he always wanted to be, but never had the reason to unlock. So when you see a man doing these things, don't take it for granted. Because this side of him, he's not showing it to just anybody. This is the side that's reserved for the woman who's got his heart, his respect, and his trust all at the same time. When a man truly listens and remembers the details you share, it's not just about hearing words, it's about showing he values you on a deeper level. Most people in everyday life hear what you're saying, but their mind is somewhere else, thinking about their own day, their own tasks, or just waiting for their turn to talk. But when a man is with the woman who truly matters to him, that changes completely. Suddenly, he's locked in, fully present, not just catching the main point, but soaking in the little things you might not even think matter. You might casually mention the name of a friend, a food you like, or a place you've always wanted to visit, and weeks or even months later, he brings it up at the perfect moment. That's not accidental. That's a man mentally bookmarking your words because they are important to him simply because they came from you. It means that when you talk, you're not background noise in his day, you are the highlight of his day. This kind of listening goes beyond nodding along or throwing in the occasional, "Ha!" or "I see." It's active listening, where he's not only catching your words, but reading your tone, your expressions, your pauses, and the emotions behind what you're saying. When you mention something that excites you, he notices your eyes light up and he files that away in his mind. When you talk about something that hurts you, he registers that too. And it becomes part of his understanding of how to protect you emotionally in the future. Over time, this builds a kind of unspoken bond because you start realizing you don't have to repeat yourself for him to remember, and you don't have to wonder if your words matter to him. He proves it in small but powerful ways. By showing up with your favorite snack without you asking, by bringing up something you said long ago to encourage you in the present, or by avoiding something you dislike simply because he took note the first time you mentioned it. The effort he puts into remembering is a direct reflection of the place you hold in his life. He's not doing it to impress you or score points. He's doing it because your words carry weight in his world. And the truth is, most men don't open that part of themselves for just anyone. For the majority of people in his life, conversations pass through like air, heard in the moment but gone in an hour. But for the one woman he cherishes, the details stick, the stories stay alive in his memory, and the little preferences you have become part of how he interacts with you on a daily basis. This level of attentiveness can make a woman feel truly seen and understood, which is rare and powerful in a world where so many people feel overlooked or unheard. And that's exactly what it's one of the clearest signs you are the one holds a unique and irreplaceable space in his heart. When a man makes time for you instead of excuses, it's one of the clearest signs that you hold a priority place in his life. People will always make time for what matters most to them, no matter how busy they are or how demanding their schedule is. A man can have work deadlines, personal commitments, hobbies, and friends, but when you are the one he values deeply, those things don't become barriers, they become details he works around. Instead of telling you, "I'm too busy," or "maybe next time," he looks for ways to fit you into his day, even if it means rearranging his plans or giving up something he enjoys. This doesn't mean he drops everything or neglects his responsibilities. It means that in his mind, your presence, your happiness, and your time together are worth the effort it takes to make it happen. It's not just about the big moments either, like showing up for your birthday or an anniversary. It's about the everyday choices. The quick coffee date before work, the late night phone call after a long day, or the spontaneous drive to see you even if it's out of the way. A man who truly values you doesn't view spending time with you as something to fit in if convenient. He treats it as a commitment he wants to keep. He won't feed you excuses like "I forgot" or "I was too tired," because he knows those words chip away at trust and connection. Instead, he finds a way, and even when life throws curveballs, he communicates honestly about what's going on and still works to give you a part of his time. This is important because time is the one thing you can't get back, and when someone chooses to give it to you willingly, it's a gift that speaks volumes about their feelings. Making time is also about being mentally present when you're together, not scrolling through his phone, not half listening, but actually engaging with you. It's carving out moments where you are the focus, where your conversations and shared experiences take priority over distractions. This consistent effort shows that he doesn't just want to be in your life in theory, he wants to be in it in action. You'll notice that when a man makes time for you, you never have to chase him for attention or beg him to show up because he's already making it happen. Even in seasons where life is hectic, he will communicate openly and still to try to give you some part of his time because he understands that relationships are built in the small, consistent moments just as much as the grand gestures. And the truth is, a man who wants to keep you in his life will never be too busy. Because for the right woman, he will always find a way to show up, even if it means adjusting his world to make sure you remain a part of it. When a man protects you in small, subtle ways, it's a silent language of care that speaks louder than grand gestures ever could. Protection doesn't always mean stepping into danger or making a big scene. Sometimes it's in the little things that many people overlook. It could be the way he automatically switches sides with you on the sidewalk so he's closer to the traffic without saying a word about it. It's the way he keeps an eye on your surroundings when you're walking together, scanning without you even realizing, just to make sure you're safe. It's in the way he checks that you got home okay after a night out, or sends a quick message to make sure everything is fine when you're traveling or out late. These small actions might seem insignificant on the surface, but they come from a place of instinct and deep care. A man doesn't do this for just anyone. This is the side of him that comes out when someone means a lot to him, when he feels a responsibility not just to love you, but to protect you in ways that make your life feel safer and more secure. You might notice that when you're in a crowd, he positions himself so you're shielded, or when you're walking somewhere unfamiliar, he naturally takes the lead so you feel more comfortable. It's not about trying to control you. It's about easing your mind so you don't have to think about those small dangers because he's already thinking about them for you. It's also emotional protection, not just physical. He'll step in to defend you if someone speaks to you disrespectfully, or he'll be quick to change the subject if a conversation is making you uncomfortable. He's aware of your feelings, and he acts in ways to guard them, often without needing you to ask. This kind of subtle protection is a sign that you've reached a level of trust with him where he feels responsible for your well-being. even in situations where others might not notice anything wrong. And what makes it so meaningful is that he doesn't make a big deal about it. He's not doing it for recognition or to be thanked. Most of the time, you'll only realize later that he was quietly taking care of things in the background to make your day easier or safer. In a world where many people look only for themselves, these small acts of protection stand out. They create an unspoken comfort. Because you know that when you're with him, you're not alone in watching your back. He's thinking ahead, looking out for what you might not see, and making sure that wherever you are or whatever you're doing, there's someone there who genuinely cares about your safety and peace of mind in a way that goes beyond words and becomes part of his everyday actions towards you. When a man opens up about his fears and weaknesses, it's a rare and powerful sign of trust, because for most men, vulnerability doesn't come naturally. Many grow up being told to hide their emotions, to be strong, to keep their struggles to themselves, and to only show the world the version of themselves that looks confident and unshakable. But when he's with a woman who means the world to him, that armor starts to come off. He begins to share the parts of himself that he normally keeps locked away, not because he's suddenly become less strong, but because he feels safe enough to show the human side beneath the strength. It could be him telling you about mistakes he's made in the past that still weigh on him, fears he has for the future, or insecurities he's carried for years. These aren't things he shares casually, because in the wrong hands, that information can be used to judge or hurt him. But with you, he believes you'll understand, support, and never weaponize his openness. This kind of sharing builds a level of intimacy that can't be faked, because it's not about impressing you, it's about being real with you. You might notice it in quiet conversations late at night when he tells you what keeps him awake sometimes, or in moments when something triggers a memory and he decides to let you in on why it affects him so much. It's in these moments you see the depth of his trust, because he's letting you witness the parts of him that are still a work in progress. Sometimes he might struggle to find the right words, or he might pause as if debating whether to say something, but the fact that he chooses to share anyway means he sees you as someone who can handle all of him. The good, the bad, and the uncertain. And it's not just about him telling you his weaknesses, it's also about letting you see them in action. Maybe you notice when he's stressed, when he's frustrated, or when something makes him feel less than confident, and instead of pretending everything is fine, he allows you to be there for him. He doesn't just want to be the strong one for you. He wants to know that you can also be his safe place when he needs it. This is a side he doesn't show to the world, because the world often rewards men for hiding it. But with you, he chooses honesty over image. That choice is a huge compliment, because it means he values authenticity in your connection more than protecting his ego. It means he's not afraid that you'll see him as less of a man for having fears, but rather trusts you to see the courage it takes to face them and share them with someone he loves and respects. When a man celebrates your successes as if they were his own, it reveals a level of love and partnership that is free from ego and competition. In many relationships, it's easy for people to offer a polite "congratulations" or a quick "good job," but there's a big difference between acknowledging your win and truly feeling joy for you deep down. When he's with the woman who means everything to him, your accomplishments light him up inside just as much as his own. If you land a promotion, achieve a goal, or accomplish something you've been working toward, he's not standing in the background clapping politely. He's front and center, smiling, bragging about you to others, and making sure you know how proud he is. This is because he sees your victories as part of your shared journey, not just something that benefits you alone. There's no hidden resentment, no jealousy, no subtle attempt to one-up you, because he understands that your growth and success only make the life you're building together stronger. You'll notice that he's genuinely invested in your progress, asking about your goals, listening when you share updates, and encouraging you to keep going when things get tough. And when the moment finally comes where you achieve what you've been working for, he's right there, not just to witness it, but to amplify the celebration. It could be something big like hosting a dinner in your honor, or something small like writing you a note to say how much he admires your determination. But either way, he's intentional about making sure you feel valued and recognized. This also shows in how he talks about you when you're not around. To his friends, his family, his co-workers, he'll speak proudly of what you've achieved, not as a way to show off, but because he genuinely wants the world to know how amazing you are. This kind of support creates a safe and empowering space where you don't have to downplay your wins for fear of making him feel insecure, because he's rooting for you without reservation. He's not threatened by your strength, ambition, or independence. In fact, he admires it and is inspired by it. Over time, this kind of encouragement builds a bond where you both push each other to reach your highest potential, and it becomes a relationship where neither person has to shrink to make the other feel comfortable. Instead, you both rise together. And it's important to realize that this kind of genuine celebration doesn't come from someone who just likes you. It comes from a man who is emotionally secure, deeply invested in you, and proud to stand beside you. When you find a man who can look at your success and feel as much happiness as he would if it were his own, you've found someone who sees you not as competition, but as a true partner whose wins are worth celebrating every single time when a man works on becoming a better man because of you. It's one of the most powerful signs that you had a deep and lasting impact on his life. Men don't change their habits, their mindset, or their lifestyle unless something inside them truly shifts, and often that shift comes from the presence of a woman who inspires them in ways they can't ignore. This isn't about you forcing him to be different or giving him a list of things he has to fix, about him looking at you, the relationship, and the future he wants to build, and realizing he wants to rise to the occasion. You might notice he starts taking better care of his health, dressing with more intention, or becoming more responsible with his time and finances. These aren't changes to impress you temporarily. They're genuine adjustments that come from him wanting to match the level of respect, love, and value he feels from you. He begins to pay attention to his words, making sure they're not just kind in moments of calm, but also respectful in moments of frustration. He starts looking at his long-term goals differently, not just thinking about what's best for himself, but what's best for both of you. This transformation often happens quietly, without him announcing it, because it's not for show, it's personal. You inspire him to be more disciplined, to set higher standards for himself, to break old habits that no longer serve him. Sometimes he might even start learning new skills or working on his emotional intelligence, all because he understands that the man you see in him is worth living up to. The changes can be big, like pursuing a better career path, or small, like becoming more patient in daily interactions, but they all point to the same truth. He's evolving because you make him want to be the best version of himself. And what's even more meaningful is that these changes often extend beyond the relationship, affecting how he treats others, how he handles challenges, and how he views his own potential. He starts carrying himself with more purpose, knowing that he has someone in his life who believes in him and sees his worth even in moments when he might doubt himself. This kind of growth doesn't happen with just anyone, because it requires a connection strong enough to motivate him from the inside out. It's not about pressure or demands, it's about inspiration. The kind that makes a man think, if she can give her best to me and to this relationship, I want to give my best too. Over time, you can see that the man he's becoming is not just better for you, but better for himself, and that's the beauty of it. You've sparked a change in him that's both personal and lasting, and it's a side of him that only someone truly special gets to witness